Hello everyone and welcome to this video, which is in our Great Engine Games and Crazy Leela series. I'm Grandmaster Matthew Sadler and this is a third instalment of Leela Tactics from Rook Odds Games. Let's have a look. Got another 10 or 11 for you. So let's get started with this one. So yeah, Leela has got some material back, attacking on the queen side, but Black seems to have got things together somehow. I mean, at least the queen is pinning the bishop to the rook. How did Leela deliver mate? Well, the move that Leela played was the lovely bishop e8, so uncovering an attack on the queen on b7, and also giving the possibility to go queen d7 check. So Black had to play queen takes b1, and then it's just a question of being precise. Queen c6 check to force the king back to d8, and then queen d7 checkmate. Lovely little mate there. This looks something like an Evans gambit, I think, although there's a pawn on b3, isn't there? But it's got that sort of structure somehow. It was actually from a gambit that Leela likes to play with odds against the Berlin. So this was pretty nice. It's a little bit ropey for Black. Obviously, a lot of white pieces kind of, really going towards that Black king. But Black decided that the pawn on g4 attacking the knight on f5, Black decided to play the move rook g8 to pin the pawn to the king, which looks pretty sensible. How did Leela respond? Well, it's a lovely little idea here. It's rook takes h7 check, king h7 forced, and then the lovely queen h6 check. Of course, the knight on f5 is pinned to the king, so the queen, which is defended by the bishop, cannot be taken. It's checkmate. A lovely little one. Really flash mate, that one. So this was an ending, in actual fact. So, well, Leela has got the rook back, but it looks like a sort of equal ending. White's trying to... Black rather is trying to tie down Leela's pieces, attacking the pawn on f2 first of all. Leela's played knight f3, and Black played rook takes b2, thinking, okay, I've lost my rook, but at least I'm going to be some pawns up. But Leela had a very cunning idea here. Can you see it? Well, what Leela played was g takes f6, and after king takes f6, bishop takes f7. Black actually resigned. The reason for that is that you take the bishop back, that looks great. I've got knight check, you think, oh, okay, just a pawn then. But then White plays the move knight d3. You're forking the bishop and the rook, and there's just no way you can avoid that. So White's just going to win a piece. Really, tricks at every stage of the game there. Against a 2500 opponent in 3+2. This one's very interesting. So this was an endgame played against 2500, who's played a lot of games at something like 3+2. Yeah, I mean, it's a knight ending. Leela is a pawn down in actual fact, but done quite well to get back from rook down. But you got that past b pawn. What move did Leela play to well, sort of prepared a march to victory? So yeah, I mean the key thing is that yeah, White really wants to get the king over to attack the knight, but at the moment the knight's doing a great job. Black might also want to get the king over to the queen side to defend against the b pawn. White's next move was absolutely gorgeous. It's knight d8, and it's got 2 points. I mean, first of all, of course, knight d8, b8 queen is pretty good. But the key point is after knight b8, we go king d4. And then the knight is stopping the king from getting to e6, and the king is stopping the king from getting to e5. So actually, Black can't get back to the queen side, and then all that White has to do is just evict the knight from protecting the b8 square, king c7, and it's finished. White's by far the fastest to queen the pawn. Really lovely little endgame there, and well, just shows you're just never safe, are you? Ooh. So yeah, maybe I'll show it just one move back against a nearly 2700 opponent here. So Leela played a Zukertort, and as always with Leela, tries to accelerate it. Very quick queen f3 to h3 before the knight on b1 is even developed. And black played, sort of fairly normal looking move, queen c7, hitting the knight on e5. However, after knight d5, knight d7, queen d7, d takes c5, black, to probably his horror, realized that white's simply threatening bishop takes f6, followed by bishop takes h7. So, yeah, I mean, if you just defend against the threat somehow, then, yeah, you're losing a bishop back. You're only going to be the exchange up, which is a little bit sad, really. But black thought he'd found a clever idea, played the move e5 here, which blocks the attack of the bishop on the knight on f6, and also threatens the exchange of queens. So you're hoping that that's going to help a little bit in any case to deal with white's kingside attack. What did white play here? What did Leela play? Well, Leela played the move, the very evil bishop takes h7 check. After knight h7, then queen takes d7 happened, and if king h8, then simply bishop f5 wins. So black actually resigned after bishop h7. Amazing, simply, yeah. Just a normal opening, and disaster just happening straight away. This was played against 2750. He's played a lot of games at one stage at something like 3+2, so decent time control. Yeah, it's just been a topsy-turvy game, starting with a bird's opening, and well, Leela's got some material back, but it's quite yeah, all quite tricky somehow. And the white king isn't completely safe. b2 is also hanging as well, so all sorts of things could happen. But how did Leela win? Now, the point is that white can play the move bishop takes h6, and well, if you don't take that one, then there's going to be a horrible discovered attack, and the queen and the rook are going to combine against the king. So black played queen takes h6, but then Leela finished off with rook h8 check, very typical tactic. If king h8, queen h6, and that's not even the end of the story, because we're also picking up the bishop on e6 as well. So black resigned there. Sudden spot tactic there. This is against the same player, 2750 player, and it's one of those things where you often reach positions and you say, well, black survived now, surely this must be a win, and yet it turns out that you're heading to an ending or something where, yeah, you're a rook up, and yet it's Leela that seems to have the winning chances. Absolutely amazing. So black here played the move king e6. I mean, 3 pawns for the rook, but you're sort of expecting, okay, we defend the pawn on c7, get the rook moving, end of story. What did Leela play? Yeah, unfortunately, bishop takes c7 is killing. If rook c7, we've just got b6, and well, we either go b7 or we go a7, but you don't. A rook doesn't stop 2 pawns on the 6th rank. Absolutely not. So black played king d7, and white played b6, and the key point is rook c7, I go a7. I don't take the rook back, I just go a7, and after rook c8 I go b7, and then I queen. Again, you can't stop 2 pawns on the 6th rank, not with a rook. So black played bishop f8, and white played bishop e5, and black resigned because b7 is happening, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Absolutely incredible. I was watching this game, and I couldn't believe it was happening. I thought black had done really well. Now, in this game, against a player who's playing at 15+10, black's decided that tight at the back is the way to do it. So really trying to blockade. But, well, whenever there's not much space for pieces, then things tend to go wrong. And, well, this did go wrong for black. How did Leela continue? The key point is knight a5 check. If you go king a8, we go knight c6, and we're threatening rook takes a7 there, and also knight takes d8 as well, just completely winning. But after b takes a5, b6 was played, and it's just hopeless. White's just going to play either queen c6 or take the rook on a7 and then deliver mate. So yeah, the fact that black had so many pieces around the king in this case just turned out to be a total disaster. Very nice, very unusual position, and never seen one quite like that in chess before, and a very nice finish from Leela. So this was quite a nice game. Again, Leela playing these sort of f4, e3, b3 systems. Yeah, black had got the pawn on d3, kind of blocked out the bishop on c1, not doing very much, but somehow, it's like squashing jelly. You stop one thing, another thing happens. And Leela played the move bishop e4, and now queen d7 was played, getting the queen out of the way. Can you find Leela's winning continuation? Two main variations in it, basically. So bishop takes h7 check was the brilliant line. Now you can try and ignore it by just playing king to f8, but then there's the brilliant bishop f5, and after queen f5 h7, you can't stop the white h pawn from queening. That is a real march of the rook's pawn, you've got to say. So king h7 is the normal one, but then we open the h file with tempo. Black tries not to to stay hidden behind the pawn, but rook check and queen h5, and we're either going to give queen h6 mate or queen h7 mate. There's nothing that black can do to stop it. Again, the black pieces around the king stopping it from escaping. Seems you can't do it right, really. Either you don't have any pieces to defend your king and Leela mates you, or you have pieces around the king and Leela mates you. It's just one of those things. Ah, this one was a little bit evil somehow. So black 2400 player playing at 3+2, done pretty well here. Still got the extra knight, and yeah, picking up some pawns. Leela gave just a little check, and black played the very natural move king h5. I mean, the king's coming into g4, and the rook's going to give a b2 check. Looks like it's completely winning. What did Leela play as white? Well, the answer there, I'm afraid, was king f3. And there's no checks on the white king, and all of a sudden, it's absolutely impossible to stop rook h6 checkmate. There's just no way you can do it. So king h4, rook h6, and it's checkmate. So from going to a position where you're piece up, really looking to go for a win. Not sure whether you could. I mean, that passed g-pawn is quite fast somehow. But still, at the very least, a draw, and suddenly you're losing another game against Leela. Can never, never, ever lose your concentration. There's tricks at every part of the game. And then the final one for our series here. So again, black, a player who's played a lot of games at all sorts of odds, normally 5+5. Leela played knight takes d4, and so it's a fork. I mean, we're threatening knight takes c2, but that wouldn't be so bad necessarily. And knight takes c6. Forking king and queen, which is really bad. So black spied a nice way to deal with both, and played the move rook c6. If you take that one, I'll take back with a knight, and black's fine, piece up, no problem. And otherwise, black's just a rook up and should be consolidating soon. What did Leela play? Well, unfortunately, yeah, knight takes c6 check is still very strong. So you're forking the king and queen. You have to take it. And then rook d7 check. The best would have been to play rook e7. Takes when, yeah, white's better. And yeah, winning, yeah, most probably, I think. You just get in amongst the king, and it's just probably a bit too much. Although black could put up some good resistance, I think. But yeah. Black was a little bit shocked and played queen d7, and after queen d7 you can't defend your rook, so you're losing that, and that one really is lost. So there we are. That was In total, it was 33 positions with tactics from Leela Rukod's positions. Yeah, just a really amazing amount of games. I mean, this is just a small selection now. I just made a tiny selection out of all the examples that I found. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to have a look at Queen odds as well and see what crazy stuff has come out of there. But hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you at the next videos. Thanks for watching.